nobody.
And though she lost to the consummate clay court master on this day, Chris Evert Lloyd, she gave us all a dazzling look at her future. Though a strict baseliner, she hits with such excessive topspin that she makes life difficult for every opponent. Earlier today, Cindy Schmerler caught up with Gabriela on the practice courts.
Are you starting more comfortable on a hard court now?
Yes, I feel more comfortable, and I like to play in this course, and I feel good.
What's been the hardest change for you playing on clay where you did so well to coming onto a hard court? What did you have to learn to do?
In this course, the ball is faster than the other ones, so you have to move more your legs, and you need a good serve and good volley.
She is more than just another teenage baseliner, this one. She has style and flair, and if she really puts her mind to it, could be one of the greats.
It's supposed to fit that way.
Now that's really you.
Not everyone can wear that.
When you're ready for a change, but you don't want anything drastic, it could be as easy as covering your gray with Loving Care Color Mousse. There's no peroxide, so it gently covers the gray without changing your natural color. And it washes out gradually, subtly.
Definitely me.
Loving Care. It's just your color.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 16-year-old.
You're looking at Gabriela Sabatini preparing for her match against Nathalie Tozia of France. And that match about to begin. They're in their warm-ups. And one of the most exciting new faces in tennis today, Gabriela Sabatini, ranked number 11 on the WITA computer, and certain to rise much, much higher. In fact, I asked Mary Carrillo prior to the telecast tonight, I said, how far can this young lady go? And Mary's answer was?
She can go all the way, Tim, and you know, her nickname is Gabby. She certainly doesn't live up to it, as we can see by that last interview. But when she does speak, and she is asked how far she thinks she can go, without any hesitation, she says, I want to be number one. That impresses me.
That has to be the most important aspect, her desire to be number one. And at 16 years of age, her future ahead of her, she's going to be exciting to watch. She is meeting a young lady by the name of Nathalie Tozia, born in the Central African Republic, but living in France, and a nice place to live, Saint-Tropez.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that this young lady does very well, and that is she is a fantastic cook. And I got that right from Philippe Chatrier, the president of the International Tennis Federation.
I thought you were going to see at dinner last night at her place.
Mary, you really know your food here tonight.
I tell you what, I would love to have this lady cook me a meal, but more importantly, she is from Saint-Tropez, which is kind of unusual because most people consider the French players, they all end up in Paris, and Saint-Tropez is a laid-back kind of place, and so the people in France cannot figure out how this young lady got so good. But she has a fine, fluid game, very natural athlete. You can see her. In fact, what's going to be fun about this match is that both of these players are extremely fluid and natural, and I think perhaps if Sabatini is not sharp, Mary, that Nathalie has a chance out here tonight.
Well, we know what happened the last time we had Gabriela Sabatini on at the U.S. Open. It was a night match just like this, first round against Barbara Potter last year. Sabatini went down, but that was a long time ago. And in recalling that match, that was the first time after a loss that Sabatini ever cried, Barry. She took it real hard. A lot has happened to her in the last year. I feel she's playing very fine tennis right now. I don't think she cries after the matches anymore. She feels the improvement coming slowly but surely. And I don't know, I think she's going to come through pretty well.
Well, I call Sabatini a thoroughbred, Mary. She reminds me of one of those 2-year-old yearlings that you see.
She's a pony, isn't she?
Oh, running around down in Lexington there, and she just is so beautiful to watch. She's a great athlete, moves so naturally. And 2 years ago here, she came out of nowhere. I remember walking over to the center court. She was playing some big tall. I think she was playing Sukova, as a matter of fact. She's giving her all kinds of trouble. Here are two very attractive young ladies ready to tee off against each other. The youngster from France has done well in the United States. She got to the quarterfinals of the 1985 U.S. Open Juniors. Her best surface is a hard court, which is what she's on tonight. You would think, being from France, that she would like the clay, but you can already tell by the way she hits the ball that she's going to like a fast surface.
1 minute, ladies. 1 minute.
Natalie Tozia, 18 years of age. Played in 16 tourneys so far this year, and also in the Federation Cup for France. She has 20 victories and 15 defeats. Gabriela Sabatini, a little more success, as you might expect. 4 titles last year in 1985. She was in the semifinals at Wimbledon this year. Made the semifinals of the French last year, the youngest player ever to do so, the women's draw. It's her 3rd Open. She lost to Sukova in 1984. She lost to Barbara Potter in the opening round under the lights last year. This year, she has won $172,373, and that translates into a lot of bucks down in Buenos Aires with the inflation rate.
Natalie did pretty well. She got to the 2nd round at Wimbledon. Fran McDowell from Mount Vernon, Washington, in the chair for this match. One of the fine lady umpires here at the U.S. Open. We should mention that Natalie got to the 2nd round of Wimbledon this year, lost to Katerina Malieva. Not a bad loss. Malieva knows how to play the game, especially on those grass courts.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Tozia to serve.
So we're ready to play here.
Please.
Opening singles action in the women's draw.
Thank you.
Natalie Tozia will serve
play.
from the top of your screen.
15 love. Oh! 30 love.
She's coming out swinging, isn't she?
She likes to hit out on that backhand, Mary. The one thing I think Sabatini needs to work on is the approach shot. She's a good volleyer. She's a good ground stroker. But I think she needs to figure out how to get up there.
I'll tell you, Barry, I saw Gabriela and Zina Garrison win the Canadian Open over Pam Shriver and Helena Sukova. And Sabatini was terrific about the net. She was really, really tough. She's just got to do it more in singles.
Exactly.
Tozia holds serve here in the first game of this best of 3 sets match, and we'll be back after this from your local systems.
Here they come. Jan Michael Vincent, Ernest Borgnine. Airwork flies again. Coming September 29th to the USA Network.
I have suppressor on.
Ask for the National Business Employment Weekly at your newsstand. Or if you prefer, get the next 8 issues by first-class mail for $35. Call toll-free 800-255-5000. 8 weekly issues, $35. Call 800-255-5000 now.
Tonight's matches are brought to you in part by Cigna, whose companies provide an array of insurance, health care, employee benefits, and financial services around the world. And by Toyota, who offers a full line of 1986 cars and trucks. More dependability, more quality, more satisfied owners. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more than watching Gabriela Sabatini at 16 years of age make her mark on the tennis world? Semifinals at Wimbledon this year. Serving now at love 1, opening set. Nice volley there. 15 love. You know, we have quoted a number of people on a number of players as we see her mark here at the Open. Rex Bellamy of the London Times, I think, acknowledged as one of the most beautiful of tennis writers, following the Wimbledon performance, said, quote, Miss Sabatini elegantly hung a few lovely pictures on the walls, suggesting she will be back later to put a deposit on the house.
Vintage Rex Bellamy.
Well, Rex Bellamy can really type, as we all know, and I think what impressed Rex and all the others watching Gabriela this year at Wimbledon was how well she really did play on grass. She's only played a handful of matches on grass now, and she seems to grow more and more comfortable with each Wimbledon.
Sabatini, 40 love, trying to get even at 1-all here. We're just underway. Best 2 of 3 sets. Opening singles match. Tim Ryan, Mary Carrillo, and Barry McKay watching this U.S. Open action. Sabatini evens at 1-all here in the first set.
1-all.
Against Nathalie Tozia of France. Some other scores from first round action taking place today. Elise Bergen over Hansel in 3 sets. Joe Dury defeated Mercedes Paz 7-5 in the third, and Paz, I believe, is Gabriela's doubles partner.
That's correct. Also from Argentina.
Mercedes Paz and Gabriela, when they win their doubles marries, they give each other a little hug and a kiss on the cheek. It's really cute. I never saw them lose, so I always saw them do that after every match.
They're very good friends, and they're good. It's a good doubles team as well.
Love 30.
I don't know about you, Mary, but that second serve of Tozia's looks like one that you could attack, and I'm surprised that Gabriela isn't trying that, but that's what she needs to do, I think, be able to come in on approach shots, which she doesn't really do that often.
I think you're right that she doesn't work her opponent's serves enough, Barry. She's got chances, but she likes returning serve from behind the baseline, where she just takes a real big swing at it.
Well, this is a big opportunity because Nathalie's second serve, definitely suspect.
30-all.
30-all. Gabriela, coached by Patricio Ape, and working out now in Key Biscayne, Florida. Key Biscayne, Saint-Tropez. We're on the wrong end of this game, Barry.
Now let's watch this second serve. I think this is a real good opportunity to come in.
I'm with you, Barry. That's pretty attackable, all right, as far as serves go.
Break point for Sabatini. That was long. Back to deuce. Just getting back to Connors briefly. As he said, he didn't look at the draw. I did. He meets next the renowned Claudio Pistolesi of Italy, whom I could not find on the computer in the first 500. So I think Jimmy's got a real good shot to go another round.
I've seen Pistolesi play. He's not bad.
He beat Ulf Stenlund today, the young Swede. one of many young Swedes. Every time you say young Swede, you have to add up how many you're talking about. Where does he fit into the Swede scene? Tozia holds serve, and she has a 2-1 lead here in the first set against Sabatini. Back on the stadium court, Sabatini serving at 1-2.
There's Patricio Ape with the hat. And he says of his young charge, even when Gabriela is playing on slow clay, she is always attacking the ball with an instinct like Navratilova. He says she plays masculine tennis in a totally feminine way, making her game a very beautiful thing to watch.
Boy, there's a Latin speaking.
He looks like he just finished off a 7-course meal.
In Spanish, that rhymes. What he said. He also said of Gabriela, she is the quietest hyper person I've ever known. Doesn't seem hyper, does she?
Just wide.
30 love.
30 love.
You know, when we heard her speak English in that quick little tape there, it's the first time I've really heard her speak. Normally, up until now, she's had an interpreter for nearly 2 years.
Ape's been, that's right. Barry, Ape's always been translating what she's saying. The funny thing is, in a press conference, she'll say 2 words, and Ape will say, oh, she meant this and this and this and this, and she's feeling that and that, and so a little of this over there.
Gabriela, 40 love to even at 2-all.
We have a Claudio Pistolesi update. I found him for you, Tim Ryan. Number 170 in the world. Goes up against Connors in the 2nd round.
My apologies to Claudio the Pistol Pistolesi. I didn't say he wasn't there. I couldn't find him, that's all.
He's 165 places behind Jimmy.
Game Sabatini.
Sabatini holds serve at love, and they're even at 2-all here in the first set. Tozia will serve. Natalie Tozia. Back.
Love 15. Love 30.
Up 30. Gotta love the way she slings that forehand. It's just such a natural stroke.
She's a jock, all right. She's one of the few women players that the guys will watch from the locker room, waiting for their matches. One of the very few, I might add.
Things haven't changed too much, Mary. I remember we all used to watch Maria Bueno. And then you'd ask about some other women players, and we had some trouble after that. But
you
Maria
were treading on dangerous ground here, McKay, I sense.
The lovely Maria Bueno is here at this year's U.S. Open. She tries to get here every year, and I saw her today. She's looking as lovely and as graceful as ever, Barry.
Boy, she was a joy to watch.
Couple great points.
30, 40.
Tozia saves 1. of these young ladies, and Sabatini is 3-2 up. Pardon me, Sabatini serving at 3-2 from the top of your screen. And there is Tozia, the 18-year-old from Saint-Tropez.
Another good French player, Isabelle Desmongeaux, also lives in Saint-Tropez. She's a practice partner of Tozia's. And there are a bunch of other players. Only Paradis, there's Tombier as well, another good French player, but only Pascal Paradis is living in Paris. They don't have a strong team, federation type deal in Paris, Barry, at least not the women. They're all scattered around.
Oh, loose forehand on the second serve. 40 love for Sabatini.
Natalie had a good week down in Los Angeles early in the year. She beat Jenny Byrne, Peanut Louis Harper, the former Peanut Louis from San Francisco, who's a darn good player, and then she lost in 3 sets to Zina Garrison. So, Mary, she can play. Those were good results early in L.A.
Virginia Sims of L.A., that tournament Barry was speaking of just a few weeks ago. Martina beat Chris in the finals there in straight sets. But Chris said she felt real good about that.
40-15.
Why did she feel real good about it?
Well, she just felt that she was, very formful. She was on her game. Chris is really happy with the way she's paced herself going into this U.S. Open Championship. Feeling very fresh and hitting a very clean ball is Chris Evert Lloyd. Easy winner today in the first round.
Game Sabatini.
Sabatini
Leads
moves to
4-2.
4-2.
Sabatini leads 4-2.
Love 15.
The lob was not that tough. I think Natalie was a little surprised by how shallow it was. Hit it right off the top of her frame.
Love 30.
Tozia looking a little discouraged early on here. Long way to go. Serving at 2-4. But she's down love 30 in this game.
And in the mental department is where I really feel that the French players, all of them, from Tombier to Paradis, could really benefit. They've just got to get tougher mentally, and they don't have one strong coach who could teach that to them. Such a pity. They're all such naturals.
Good tough shot down the line. Tozia.
You know what surprises me about that, Mary, is that the French take such pride in their men's team. Leconte, Noah, Toulon, and Forget, and they've been working on this great program over there. I can't believe they've overlooked the women.
40-30.
I'll tell you though, Barry, I think the French Federation sort of gave up on Henri Leconte there, and they basically tossed him over to Thiriac and said, hey, look, this guy is too crazy. He'll never be disciplined. You take him. And of course now Leconte is one of my picks to do really well at this U.S. Open. He's come a long way.
with a couple of handy backhanders.
Sabatini leads 4-3.
Now 4-3 Sabatini. Sabatini with a double fault to open this 8th game of the first set. She leads 4-3. Has a break in game 5.
All.
Well, made up for the double fault, the service winner.
Sabatini's service motion, a little bit unusual, but it's deceptive because she almost gets her back to you, and it's hard to know whether she's going to go right down that center or swing it wide. Watch this serve now of Sabatini. She starts right there. Now watch her turn sideways, right there. Very tough to know, Mary, which way she's going to go. It's a nice motion, but a lot of motion.
Yes, it's a clay court serve, Barry. You know, there's so much kick on it. I think if she were to flatten it out, it'd be much tougher on a hard court.
A lot of spin on that second serve.
Super. She didn't even get a full cut at that one because Tozia hit a good solid shot back. She really hit almost a half volley with a lot of power. She's so deceiving. She didn't get that big wind-up that she likes to get on the forehand. 30 all. Gabby dressed for prime time, too. I think she's spent all that prize money she's made, 172 grand this year, on some nice gold jewelry for the lights. She knew she was going to be on USA tonight.
Oh, it's wide.
40-30.
40-30. Sabatini with a chance to move to 5-3.
Out.
Sabatini holding service, moving to 5 games to 3 first set.
Speaking of French women players, whatever happened to Françoise Dour? Last time I saw her, she ran out on the court with the biggest dog in the world.
Yes, I remember that dog of hers, named Topspin. And in the early 70s, when Virginia Slims was just starting to happen for women's tennis, Topspin used to take her racket out on the court in his teeth. Francois is still around, Barry. She's living in Arizona now with her husband. Wonderful woman. Talk about your wacky grips. Francois had one.
So did her dog.
Love 15.